What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I used my Byrna TCR, so I'm going to use it today, check what it's reading at. I think it was around 25 joules the last time I used it, maybe? I don't remember exactly. I haven't used it maybe for like a month or two, and what I want to see is how hard it's hitting. I'll use my Grimburg V3s, and then I'll see if there's any difference between the Alien Play aluminum balls and the Grimburg V3s. I'm not going to adjust the velocity unless it's like sky high through the roof, like at its maximum. I don't think it's at that point, but I just want to see what it's doing right now. And I have my normal TCR barrel. I have an empty CO2 in here because I hooked up a remote line to my Byrna TCR. I have a whole video how to do that. You can either use a TiPX remote line adapter and some pipe fittings, or you can order the original Tippmann TCR remote line piece, but you do have to order those pieces from like 3 or 4 different websites because it's just hard to get original pieces for the Tippmann TCR, because before Byrna bought the patent for it, it was a Tippmann TCR. So a lot of these pieces are interchangeable between the TiPX, the Tippmann TiPX. A lot of stuff's interchangeable between the TiPX and this. So yeah, I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna be using my CO2 tank. This has about 65% capacity. So I think it's around 370 grams or 360 grams of CO2 in this, which basically just dictates how much pressure is coming out of it. So I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I popped off 3 shots just to get, I put some oil in this, popped off 3 shots just to get the oil going through, and here we are. I have my Grimburg V3s in this right now, and it's on a CO2 tank, so everything else is pretty much stock, aside from the remote line. 248, so I think that's around 20 joules. 248, still around about 20 joules. Might be a little bit lower or higher, I'm not sure exactly. 246. These Joule V3s that I have, they're averaging about 7.7 grams. 240. 242. 244. And I think this is my last shot. 244. I'll do one more shot, but I think I'm out on this mag. Yep, out of ammo. So I'm going to clear out the box, and I have my Alien Play balls right here. So I'll be right back. So my Joule V3s, the ones that I got, they're kind of averaging, like for the bore size, they're kind of getting in that 682, 684 kind of area when I check with my size checker for the paintballs, and 7.7 grams. And my Alien Plays, the ones I'm using right now, they're my first batch of Alien Plays that I've ever purchased. So these ones that I have in the TCR, they're about 7.2 grams, and the bore size is small, like 679. Or like 677. They fit in the 679 paintball gauge. So I'll see what type of speeds I get with this. So these are the Alien Play 7.2 gram small bore balls. 252, 254, 252, 254, 252, 254, 250. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So the reason my speeds are staying constant is because I have this giant air tank on. If I was using this 12 gram CO2, the speed would definitely be dropping. And this is what it looks like when I'm firing it. Because yeah, I'm using a giant CO2 tank, which you know, it can give it constant pressure. If I was to use my HPA tank right now and leave the pressure the way it is, or the velocity adjuster the way it is, I'd probably have slightly lower speeds with both of those projectiles. It might be the same because this isn't dialed up too high, but usually with HPA, and if I have this TCR like cranked up pretty high, my 800 psi HPA tank, it'll only do about 30 joules max with this stock barrel with my 800 psi HPA tank. So this is empty. I'm just degassing it. I turn off my air tank right now, or CO2 tank. So yeah, pretty much out of gas. This was just going to be a quick video, just so I know where this is hitting at, and I'll keep a mental note that it's not maxed out. It's not maxed out, which is good, because I've only ran into problems with this marker when I had it like tuned up all the way, like dialed up all the way, and I popped an O-ring off the valve that's inside. So it was easy to fix. It was just kind of a mini nightmare, because when that happened to me, it was sort of, I mean, I've had this for like almost 3 years now, but it was kind of like in my infancy of having this on here and dialing it up like super high, just to see what I could do with the TCR. So since then, I've only popped one O-ring, and it was that one on the valve, the spool inside the valve. But other than that, it's been a chief in it. Obviously these are dyed, and this is dyed because this all used to be orange. So I dyed it with RIT dye. Have a video on that if you guys are interested in how to dye these parts and how to assemble this and reassemble it with the dyed parts and stuff. So yeah, super expensive. To me, at the time, it was worth it because I was new to Less Lethal. I bought this in like August of 2022. And like now they have like the M17, the Vulcan M17, which you can still find in certain places, but there's more work in getting it to go up high joules. And if you break your on the Vulcan M17, if you break your regulator, which is like a piece back here, I think that replacement part is like 140 bucks or something. It's pretty expensive, and the marker itself is like 350. So there's definitely stuff better than this for cheaper. You just have to be willing to modify it yourself if you want to have something like high joules. I think the highest I got with this guy is about 55 maybe, and it might be able to go higher. I popped an O-ring when I was shooting it that high, and I got a good amount of shots through it before the O-ring popped off. But yeah, I had to like turn off my gas valve, and there's a little bit of wear on the bolt and power tube that's in here, some metal pieces, but you can buy replacement parts that fit the TiPX. You can buy parts for the TiPX and put them in here. The only thing that's not hard to find, but sort of hard to find, is the TCR style valve. You can buy it from some places, but that part's like 70 bucks. So you shouldn't need to replace your valve. What you would probably have to replace eventually is the bolt and the power tube and like random little O-rings, because there's a lot of O-rings in here. But yeah, other than that, this thing's going good. I'll probably turn it up a couple turns in a couple weeks or something. Maybe get it hitting around like 30 joules. That's where I would kind of more ideally want it. So anyways, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.